The United States electoral system for federal offices operates through a combination of federal law, and state administration, 50 different sets of rules governing how votes are cast, counted, and translated into representation. The Electoral College translates presidential votes. Single-member districts translate congressional votes. Both mechanisms were designed for a specific historical context and produce predictable structural outcomes the designers did not fully anticipate. A vote cast is not the same as a vote that determines an outcome. Two structural conditions cause the divergence. In single-member districts, a candidate who wins 51% of the vote represents 100% of that district's seat. The 49% who voted otherwise have no representation from that race. In the aggregate, across hundreds of districts, large blocks of voters are systematically underrepresented. The Electoral College compounds this, translating presidential votes through a state-by-state winner-take-all mechanism that can produce a president who received fewer total votes than their opponent. This has happened 5 times in American history. 2000 and 2016 are the most recent. The root cause is 3 structural conditions operating simultaneously. The first is gerrymandering. District lines are drawn by state legislatures. State legislatures are controlled by political parties. Political parties draw district lines to maximize their own seat counts. The result is districts shaped not to represent communities, but to produce predetermined electoral outcomes. The second is voter access gaps. The administrative requirements for voting, registration deadlines, ID requirements, polling place availability, early voting options, and whether Election Day is a working day or a national holiday, create barriers that correlate with race, income, and geography in documented patterns. The people least able to navigate complex administrative requirements are systematically less likely to vote. The third is the winner-take-all translation mechanism itself. A system where large minorities of voters produce no representation is not a system that accurately translates voter preferences into legislative composition. One example is the 2019 North Carolina congressional map. A federal court found it was an unconstitutional partisan gerrymander, drawn to produce a 10-3 Republican advantage in a state where the statewide vote was roughly 50-50. The alignment audit finding is direct. The map drifted from its design purpose, translating geographic communities into representation to an entirely different function, producing a predetermined partisan outcome. The precision filter finds the exploit surface. Districts shall be compact and contiguous is the standard. It does not include a measurable criterion preventing partisan manipulation. The word is doing work the law does not require it to do. The proposed fix is 3 structural patches. The first is independent redistricting commissions. The line-drawing authority is removed from the party that benefits from the lines. A body with documented criteria, compactness, community boundaries, population equality, and a measurable prohibition on partisan manipulation draws the map. Several states have implemented this. California, Arizona, and Michigan are the most documented. The second is federal minimum access standards, registration, ID requirements, polling place availability, and early voting governed by a federal floor that all states must meet. The administrative requirements for voting cannot systematically exclude any eligible population. This includes Election Day itself. A national holiday removes the work schedule barrier that falls disproportionately on hourly workers and lower-income voters. The precision filter applies. Every access requirement must have a documented justification and a measurable standard. The third is ranked choice voting for federal elections. Voters rank candidates by preference. If no candidate wins a majority in the first count, the last-place candidate is eliminated and their votes are redistributed to each voter's next preference. The process continues until a candidate has a majority. It eliminates the spoiler effect. It produces outcomes that better reflect voter preferences. Alaska and Maine have implemented it for federal elections. The patch is tested and documented. Here is what optimized looks like. An electoral system where district lines are drawn by independent bodies using documented criteria, not partisan advantage. Where the administrative requirements for voting do not systematically exclude any eligible population. Where the translation mechanism produces a legislature whose composition reflects the actual distribution of voter preferences. where the exploit ledger tracks every identified gap between the system's stated purpose, accurate representation of the electorate, and what it actually produces. Draw the lines fairly. Open the access. Fix the translation. I am the system architect. Next, the legislature. The money has been examined. The electoral mechanics have been examined. Now the institution those mechanics produce, and what the DSI finds when it audits how Congress actually functions.